This is a BT01, a Bluetooth remote control for the Anytone D578 radio. Something we've been waiting for quite a long time. Let's go. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB, and this is Ham Radio 2.0. Reviews, news, and how-tos of things that are new in amateur radio. Thank you for joining today. This is brand new. Brand spanking new. This is a remote control Bluetooth head, but it's not really a head. It's a remote control Bluetooth device for pretty much any of the Anytone radios. It actually comes with this cable. That's a Cat 5 cable, Cat 5 style cable with RJ45 connectors on the end of it right there. And it will work on the it will work for a wired remote on the non-Bluetooth versions of the D578. You want to see how easy it is to connect this Bluetooth device to a D578 radio? I'm going to show you how easy it is at the end of the video, so stay tuned. So this is, obviously this is the cable here. It comes with the cable, it comes with this manual, and it comes with the device itself. Bluetooth mode, cable mode, so you can switch it back and forth and use it on multiple radios. PTT button over here. There's 3 buttons on the side. I've yet to determine what those do, but you can, well, I mean, it says in the manual what they do. You can program it to channel up, down, power, low, high, medium, all that kind of good stuff, and you can change program those to do whatever you want to. This thing itself is, says, you can't really see it in the camera. This says down, this says up, and this is the power on button. The one in the middle is the power on button. Of course, you can use these for it as well. This is much like the programming screen on the radio, so you can use these buttons accordingly for everything else. It does have this part on the side over here almost looks like a micro SD card, but according to the manual, that's not what it is. It's just kind of like a breathing port or something. So this is the speaker and headset jack for a Kenwood K-style Kenwood connector headset. So you can put like an earpiece on it or something like that, or even have like a lapel mic and have this belt clip on your belt, and then put a lapel mic on this, and I guess it'll key it up like that as well. Haven't tried that yet. This is USB-C for charging this actual Bluetooth unit. So everybody who's always crying about they wish they had USB-C instead of micro USB, this is not a radio, obviously. This is a remote control for a radio, but it does charge via USB-C, so that's convenient. And then you would plug the cable in down there if you're going to use it in the cable version, and belt clip and whatnot. So let's hook it up to the radio and see what it looks like. Connecting this thing is actually quite easy. So follow the instructions of the manual. It gives you like 5 or 6 steps. By step 3, it pretty much takes over and does it by itself. So quick demonstration here. Going into the menu of the radio. Okay, see, it's reconnecting itself. It just reconnected itself after I disconnected. I disconnected it on purpose so I could show you guys. Reconnected. Okay. So what you do here is you go into the menu of the radio right here. Scroll up to Bluetooth. Bluetooth, you got to turn this, make sure Bluetooth is on. It was off by default, so I turned that on. Find there. Go to pairing, and as soon as you go into basically as soon as you turn it on, they connected, like they're connecting right now. As soon as I turn Bluetooth on, the manual says go into pairing and go into Bluetooth Seek mode, and by the time I went into pairing mode and I was about to press the button for yes, Bluetooth Seek, it was already connecting. So, is that good or bad? I mean, if you're carrying one of these on your belt and you're walking around a parking lot at a Hamfest somewhere, and somebody in their truck just has theirs in Bluetooth, if Bluetooth mode is on, it'll automatically connect. I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it sure is easy to connect one way or the other. So, you know, that's all good there. But I'm going to show you guys what the menu, or what the actual screen of the device looks like, because you're going to want to see that. One thing it does do, if you notice that, the screen goes off all the time. So it doesn't stay on very long at all. When you, see, there it goes right there. I think there's probably a way to adjust that in the menu, but I don't know. I haven't messed with it. This is just default right here, but you can keep pressing that button. So we've got the menu, and it's very similar to the menu that you're going to see on the radio itself for the HT and the mobile radio. So there's you can go into your APRS menus there. This is Bluetooth. So you're in the settings of the radio right now. This is not settings inside this device. This is settings inside the actual radio itself. So we can go up here, scroll up, exit there. One thing I could not figure out when I first turn it on, of course, again, it powers on with this middle button right here, and these are your channel up and down buttons. Like I just changed, so I'm on the bottom band right now. Change that. There's my Sherry node analog. This is my analog zone inside of my radio. Okay, so, and you can program these three, but I programmed these three buttons before I'd started the camera. I'll show you what those do in a minute. But I couldn't figure out how to change the volume. There's no knob on this thing or anything. So how you change volume is you short press the power button again. If you long press the power button, it'll power itself off. But if you short press the power button, it says channel up there right now in the middle, right there. Short press it again and it'll change the volume. And you can change the volume up and down right there. So I set it about half volume. It came with full volume. It was really loud. so I programmed these three keys here. This is power on the bottom. This is a top and bottom band switch on the middle. And this is VFO to memory mode on the top there. So now I'm in VFO mode on the bottom band. Press it again and go back into to memory zone mode. I can switch between the top band. There's the top band there. There's the bottom band selected, and then I can change the power, which is the indicator right here. So now it's on an L, medium, high, and turbo, and that's the 4 power settings that are in the radio. So now I can key this. I'm on my outside Edfong J-pole antenna that's about 27, 28 feet in the air at the base. And we're going to go into this ULIS repeater, which is not very far away. KC5 HWB testing. Let's switch over to this right here. So, KC5 HWB testing on the ULIS repeater. So there we go. That's analog. The repeater, in the DMR repeater in Grapevine is... Actually, I probably could switch to the Hurst repeater. The DMR repeater in Grapevine is without internet right now. So, yeah. Let's go here and top band... So let's try to key up W5HRC and Hurst, which is in the Hurst talk group. That's perfect. KC5 HWB testing on the Hurst talk group from a base station radio in Grapevine into the Hurst repeater with a Bluetooth microphone that I've just hooked up to my radio for a video I'm making. KC5 HWB. That's a lot of info. Pull up the Seabridge NetWatch here and see if I made that. But it's definitely keying it up so you can see... Okay, so the easiest way to see it right now is that if I key up... All right, so I'm keyed up right here, KC5 HWB testing, and this light is red. It looks orange in the camera, but it's red. I've got the exposure turned down on that camera because the screen is so bright, which I could change that, but I don't want to change it. I just left it alone. So now when I unkey from this radio, KC5 HWB testing on the Hurst talk group, which I'm not coming through the Seabridge, so I'm not sure I'm on the right time slot. Now I let go. And the light goes off. So if I was receiving activity right now, that light would turn green. So this is pretty cool. I wonder how far I can get with it. That's going to be the next question right there is how far can I get with it? I'm going to do another video about this later because I think I'm going to put this radio in my truck. Guys, here's one thing about this radio real quick. Two things about the radio. I hadn't booted this radio up in probably... a year and a half, something like that. The current version of firmware you need to make this work is firmware 1.17. Okay, CPS and firmware CPS version 1.17 and the firmware that comes with it, which I think matches 1.17. It says in the manual here, it says you got to use firmware 1.17 or later to make this work with the 578. I booted my radio up the other day and it was on firmware version 1.05. There was a 06, 07, 08, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way through 17. So I was like 12 versions behind. Anyway, the 1.17 version of CPS and firmware. So I upgraded all the way from 105 to 117, no problems. No problems at all. I did an export. The second part, cool part is that when you upgrade that far and do the baseband update on these radios, it wipes out your code plug. I didn't have anything in this radio anyway. I exported my code plug that I've shared with you guys. I'll put a link in the description below for that code plug. Go into the CPS of the 878 software, do an export, and click the export list, which is the very top button on the export window. Export that to a .lst file. Open up the 578 software, import that same list, and boom, everything's there. It was easy. I had to change a couple of the button settings, like the button settings didn't all transfer over because this one's got more the mobile radio's got more buttons than the handheld radio does. But it was easy to move code plugs from one to the other and update my code plug and shoot everything into the 578. I downloaded the entire contact list from radioid.net, shot that into the 578, all good to go. So I think I'm going to put this radio in my truck now that I can finally get a Bluetooth connection to it, because the radio doesn't have a removable face. This guy right here is my favorite DMR radio on the mobile DMR radio on the market right now. It really is. It's actually a tri-band radio. It'll do 220 at 5 watts on analog. But yeah, it just reconnected now. I wonder if there's a way to change the device name, the Bluetooth ID name on this device, because it comes up as like LIFA01256 something. I don't know. I want to change it to Ham Radio 2.0, but I don't know. We'll see. Something for another video. But this is my favorite DMR, mobile DMR radio right now, but it doesn't have a removable face, so I can't mount it in my truck where I want to. Now it's possible that I'm going to put it in there, so I'm probably going to put this in there and be using that in some road trip videos coming up. How many people are going to get this thing? How many people are excited about this? It's not the mountable face like we were hoping it would be, like a remote face for a mobile radio that you mount in your truck, and instead of running a cable to it, it just connects to the radio via Bluetooth. This is more of a handheld, but this is no different than grabbing the microphone on your mobile radio and holding it like this while you're driving. Okay? If this was a mounted Bluetooth mount, it would have to have a microphone coming off of it, and this device actually does have a Kenwood K connector jack on the side of it, so you could actually grab a mic, a speaker mic with a K connector on it, and like mount this or belt clip it somewhere up in your vehicle to where you can see it. It's not a very big display, but you know, for those of you with compact cars or just no room in your vehicles, it might be good that way. And then you can pull a microphone off of it with a K connector on the side. So you've got the best of both options. I wish the screen was a little bit bigger if you were actually going to mount it in the car, but I don't really think I care. This thing is really cool. Everything I've done with it so far, I got this in the mail yesterday. It's brand new. Bridgecom's been teasing us with this for a long time. And it's not their fault. Anytone's been really slow to release it. It's all an Anytone thing. But check the link in the description below. I do have an affiliate link in the description below for the Bridgecom link to this, which helps me support the channel. And let me know in the comments below who's going to use this and what you think about it. If you guys enjoyed this video, I thank you for sticking around. If you think I have earned your subscription, please click subscribe below so that you can keep up with all the other videos that I make on this channel. And if you liked this video about the D578 and about code plugs in general, check out some of the videos upcoming over here on this side and 73.